Hello, group. Welcome to Action Rock Corner. I'm your host, Richard May. Today, the proper band name is Knowledge is for Fools, or KIFF, as you see on the cover here. See the pretty girl with the gun? That's a clue of what you're getting yourselves into. The album name is Fast Food for Thought. And the album opens up with a fast food trilogy. A cover from the Plasmatics debut, New Hope for the Wretched, Fast Food Service, followed by Fast Food Fight on Friday night, and Food Fight. Now, there's not exactly Bob Dylan lyrics going on here. I love that trilogy. Ate too much fast food in my youth. I'm paying for it. It's fun music. It's a fun band. But I gotta explain it to you. Because you may have never heard a band quite like KIFF before. I think you're going to have to spell out the band name to get, hopefully YouTube. It's on YouTube. I believe you have to subscribe to Knowledge is for Fools in order to get the new record. Okay. I had to in order to get the new record. It's on Bandcamp as well. But we're a YouTube channel. We're loyal. So, subscribe to KIFF, or Knowledge is for Fools, and you'll get the new record. KIFF and other bands of this ilk. There's other bands like this as well. They're a stew of shock rock, punk rock, hard rock, horror rock, and garage rock. At least KIFF is. But for this record, it's not so much garage rock. It's hard rock, of course. A bit of outlaw country, especially on the songs Don't Love Me, which is a cover song apparently. I couldn't get songwriting credits. And Is the Moon Out Tonight? Or is that a streetlight? That's not part of the title. That is definitely have a lot of country influence, outlaw country influence. Not this horrible corporate country, awful. We're talking a funny, with attitude from the 70s, like I showed you here. Yeah, Up Against the Wall, Redneck Mother. Those kind of songs. Take This Job and Shove It. That's the kind of country I'm talking about. That's the kind of country I think they got in their collections back home. So you get a real stew of punk, with the plasmatics. This is not the heavy metal plasmatics I showed you. This is the punk plasmatics. Okay, fast food service. But and a lot of early 70s hard rock. And this is from them. If you like, and even love, Motorhead, of course. Where's my Motorhead? You love your Motorhead? How about the Ramones? Heck yeah. Ian Hunter. Yeah. Alex Cooper. Yeah. Kiss. Yeah. That's part of the stew. At least for specifically KIFF. Okay? But they also have a lot of love for AC/DC. They basically quote AC/DC in the lyrics twice in this record. You'll know it when you hear it. Another song I saved for my YouTube likes, Yule Bit. It's a knockoff, a homage to a Van Halen sort of riff. You may accuse it of being Pacific riff. I'll leave it to you. But for a little bit, yeah, guitar player was definitely listening to some Van Halen when he wrote that riff. So you get a stew of all of this. These people may not be living in the city. If they are, they're on the outskirts of the city. Okay? The outskirts of the college town. They're from Raleigh, North Carolina. And, they've been around now for a while. The first record came out in 2012. They self-release all their records. This is basically self-produced records. And sounds like it. Which is not shade, not knocking it. Just you have to get used to it. So there is definitely an element of novelty music in here too. Humor, novelty music. Like I said, fast food trilogy of songs to open the record. Definitely some humor. Some Dr. Demento fandom stuff going on here. So there's humor in there. Yeah. But they will get serious at the end with Blood of the Raven. That's their horror song at the end. But pretty much everything else, pretty much tongue-in-cheek. And so you begin to get the idea, yes, it's stuff that you love in here. Your AC/DC, your Van Halen, your hard rock. I also think they own this record somewhere in their collection, especially in the name of the band and the reducing their name to acronym. Of course, Love, Sex, and Death became, for most people, LSD. And of course, Knowledge is for Fools became KIFF. You have a bit of overlap in attitude with Life, Sex, and Death. for you folks who remember that band. But they hang at certain festivals where they're playing with, among other bands, but these are two bands that I know and own. Anti-Scene, definitely very punkish, but also politically incorrect. Speaking of politically incorrect, Hammerlock. Hammerlock, definitely a Trumper kind of band. And I enjoyed it, but the one singer got into an incident. Is native San. For Pete's sake, this band's from San Francisco. He got into a fight with a member of Antifa at some protest a number of years ago. I'm just saying, if you're going to a festival and you see the Confederate stuff on the cover of Anti-Scene here, leave your bride Kira at home. Maybe leave the girlfriend at home to end life. Go with the guys. Wear your He-Man flannel, shit kicker boots, jeans. Don't give up any progressive vibes. Okay? Now, I'm not saying that KIFF here with this record has any political content. They don't. Okay? But the cover with the gun, I think is a hint. Okay? So I would warn you, if there's specific political content in the album, there isn't. You can relax with it. But the cover kind of tells you. And for the Second Amendment, okay, boys and girls? And it is a bit, do I know how to say the word? I don't know how to say the word. $5 word for being anti-women, or not being quite feminist. Misogynist? Yes, that's the word. I do not accuse this of being misogynist, but young women, be careful. If you choose to listen to this, both of you watching this video, both women watching this video, be careful. Okay? Something may rub you the wrong way. Just saying. But to my ears and judgment, no. It is sleaze. Oh, there's sleaze here. I refer to Yule Bit, the Van Halen homage riff. Yule Bit is a homage to a Yule person woman who's a good time woman, if you know what I mean, and you're catching on. 4'1" and a lot of fun. And a black leather dress. I saved you a little bit. Thank you. The other song I saved the Fast Food Trilogy. I also saved Lady Doom, which is a cover. You guys know and love the Gods, don't you? The rock and roll machines. They were apparently, I guess, the backing band for Eric Moore, the guy who sings Gotta Keep It Running, the Gods of Rock and Roll Machines, the guys who does the rap. His last record in 2019, just before he died. We lost Eric. They were the backing band for Eric Moore's last record, Eric Moore and the Legion of the Damned. And so they re-record two of the songs from that record. I want to score that record. There's a lot of records I want to score. Limited time, limited money. The two songs on this record from Eric Moore and the Legion of the Damned, one is Don't Love Me. Oh, the guy's dream. And Lady Doom. I didn't know it was an Eric Moore song when I decided I really dug it. Just something about it, just something there that my ears, wasn't necessarily the lyrics that attracted me. It was just the instrumentation, the groove, the vocal, the attitude of the song. Lady Doom. And Lady Doom is the lead-off song for that Eric Moore solo record, Eric Moore and the Legion of the Damned. I gotta get that. Limited funds, limited time. Heck, KIFF was so close to Eric, of course, like I said, they're the backing band for Eric. There's another record. I want to get it. God's Fest 2019, which is basically the memorial concert for Eric Moore. And so KIFF and other bands came in and covered the Gods, especially American Dog. Okay, another band of this ilk that I'm trying to describe to you. Yeah, songs about booze, babes, trilogy about fast food, but they usually don't sing about that. I love this record. I lived with this record for all day yesterday. And when I had to take a long trip, so I listened to this multiple times. It's their fourth record, if you're collecting. And it's just, I really enjoyed it, but it does move through different styles of music, so like I said, you get you a bit of humor, get you a little bit of outlaw country, with cojones. Okay, it's not country. Don't accuse me of saying that. It's not country. But it definitely has that country attitude. Got that country twang to it. All right. And 11 songs, 40 minutes. It was a good companion to me yesterday. I'm going to have to listen to their other records. Where even before doing a record with Eric Moore, they did a couple Eric Moore covers in their third record, if I count correctly, in 2017, if I remember correctly. And so it's a lot of fun. It's got great attitude. It's got a lot of sleaze. Oh, there's sleaze here. Boy, howdy, there's sleaze. Fan of Nashville Pussy? Check out KIFF. KIFF also does a cover of the Dead Boys on one of their earlier records. What else did I bring out? The Singer. Not throwing shade. Love it. The Singer is not a classically trained vocalist. Shut. Reminds me a little bit of Captain Beefheart. And just so know we're on the same page, you know, because you're thinking, oh, the Gods. It's going to be like the debut record. KIFF doesn't really take after the debut record musically. No, you're not getting a Gotta Keep It Running. You're not getting a Candy's Going Bad or Under the Table or Cross Country. Oh, you know, Go Away, Baby, I Love You. Yeah, a little bit of the first two tracks. But they really take notes for the Nothing is Sacred record. The one that never has been reissued. Hey, when you reissue houses, reissue Nothing is Sacred. For Pete's sake. There's some things you can get that has part of the record, but not the entire record and not the record. Okay? What am I thinking of? You know, those kind of labels that do that sort of thing. Hold on. Can I do it quickly? Okay, who's the label that did? I can't find it. Sorry. So, there's a couple labels that do reissues. Rock Candy. Yeah, Rock Candy, you do it. They do a nice job. And of course, they did this fine job of the Gods debut. Okay? But I'm thinking they're, you know, the cheaper ones. They also did Eric Moore's very first recording, 3 He Wasn't Writing, the Capital City Rockers, which is what I was looking for back there. It's hiding somewhere else. Just doesn't occur to me. What's the name of that label? It's out of my head. So, bottom line, I love this. I love it. Took notes all the bands they play with, the festival. Do I really want to find more of this? Oh yeah. I gotta get more Anti-Scene. I gotta Hammerlock. I'm not that conservative anymore. I got better. The Iron John. Some other time in my life, I'll give Hammerlock another shot. Though I own about all the recordings from Hammerlock. So lots of fun, but just be prepared. It's not the best produced record in your life. It's pretty cool, but it's not the most produced record. There's variety to it, some novelty to it, some humor to it, some sleaze to it, without being sleaze metal. And of course, it's here on YouTube. And remember, I had to subscribe to KIFF, or Knowledge is for Fools, in order to get access to the new record. Okay? So be prepared to do that. Be prepared to subscribe in order to get the new record. If you like this video, give it a like, will you? The world needs to know about KIFF. Subscribe to the channel as well as to KIFF. Helps, get the word out about the bands we're promoting. Ring the notification bell so you know when the next one's coming out. And leave a comment. Listen to some KIFF. Knowledge is for fools. And what do you think? Is my description accurate? This, just that scene, just reminds me of college at Ohio State in the early 79, 80, and early 80s. With the Gods, broke up by then. But you had Rosie with Mark Chetfield, you had Eric Moore Band, you had stuff going on. It was cool stuff. And being Columbus, Ohio. And there's a whole scene of bands that take after the Gods in Columbus. Here's why I was surprised that KIFF is not from Columbus. They're from North Carolina. Bless her heart. Enjoy Bill Belichick's rookie college season. KIFF. And North Carolina in general. Hopefully it turns out better than his time coaching the Cleveland Browns. Hopefully better than that and closer to his peak Patriots run. And for the latest in action rock, garage rock, and classic and legacy bands, come back here to Action Rock Corner. We'll have it for you. Remember, have fun with your music. This is fun. Okay? And humorous. You know I like my humor and sleaze. It's here. This is one album cover where the young lady is clothed. There's other album covers where the young lady is not as clothed as this. Nice bikinis. Yes, like that. That's another thing I always say. Remember, fresh music is as important as fresh food. And KIFF is pretty darn fresh. All right. Thank you for watching. See you again soon.